Happy Friday. Today is April 21st, 2023. And my name is Mahogany River, aka River Phoenix L, aka we could go on all day with my AKA, so we're not. Maybe in another video. But yeah, so today what I'm gonna be talking about is just explaining who I am. Not even explaining, I just want to chit chat, I thought that would be something cool to do. Who the hell is Mahogany River, and why the heck should we be even listening to her? Because I'm an extraterrestrial being, and I've been through a lot. There's been a lot. And I overhear conversations. I be in the midst of conversations. I've witnessed a lot of things. And to be able to kind of like keep everyone up to date with what is going on in this world, or even explaining what this world is all about, I just feel as though it's time to, speak. I remember my parts of my childhood, but one of the things that stands out to me the most was always feeling like I was an observer, and then life became like, I don't know how to describe that. I was thrown into the world, and now I'm back into the observer stance, or be able to explain the different circumstances and the behavioralisms that I had witnessed, experienced, and now dissect and talk about. In my current interactions in meetings with beings, and after everything that I have learned about our magnificent world and Gaia and energies, and let's just start with that. For those who are, I guess what I will be is like an usher or a teacher, a companion for those who are going through their spiritual awakening, because it can get overwhelming at times, especially if you don't know how to decipher the things that's going on around you, to you, for you. That is like one of the number one things that I do tell people that I am meeting that is going through certain things. Is like, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. And if you just surrender and allow it to happen, everything does work out in your highest of good. As long as you continue to, go against the grain, the more and more things that happen. And one of the things that a lot of people don't understand or understand is that you speak everything into existence. You create your reality. And that's one of the things that I've experienced a lot, or have seen a lot also, is that it was kind of funny when I first found out about it. It's like, and I've heard other people talk about it, and it was like, you'll say, oh, this is gonna happen, blah 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 blah, and then you'll have that positive being say, no, speak positive, think positive. But then your mind is still creating it, and then when it actually happens, you'd be like, see, I told you. It's like, well, of course, because that's what you focus on. That's the energy you fed, so therefore that's what is. And that's one of the other biggest things about, coming into this spiritual awareness, is not bandwagoning. Do not bandwagon others people's thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Everyone has a right to feel how they feel, experience what they experience, but it's upon you to have your own discernment and being able to separate yourself from that stuff. A lot of people, if you feel as though you need to go into hermit mode in order to be able to ground yourself and get yourself prepared to, you know, come back into the world in a positive manner, by all means do so. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, there's nothing wrong with being selfish for a minute, you know, because that's called self-care, you know. And those who truly love you and understand you will be okay with it, because, you know, you're going to come out even better than you were when you went in. So we need to do a lot more of that, you know, being able to go within, figure out what it is that's keeping you from living in the most happiest and abundance of thought, emotion, physical realms, you know. Holding on to old thought processes is one of the biggest ways to create strife in your life, whether it's mental, physical, or emotional. We have to learn to let things go, because what happened yesterday is what happened yesterday. I mean, there's nothing you can do to go back to change it. The only thing that you can do is learn from it, heal, and do something different, you know? So for whatever reason, I want to think about Reiki. What is Reiki? Reiki is life force energy. What are Reiki healers? Reiki healers are those beings that help to recenter and replenish life force energy. Once you start to, you know, get into old mindsets and repetitive behaviors that are not of the highest of good for you or anyone else, that depletes the life force energy. I don't remember, I have to look it up. There was a movie they made a few hundred years ago, even though I'd be an exaggerator. But some years ago, there was a movie, and it was that movie where the people, it was like they had a timer, and they had to keep doing things to reset the time to get their accounts. That's Reiki. That's life force energy. So if you're constantly draining your life force energy and never doing anything to replenish it, to release the old negative feelings, to release or heal from the heartbreak, to clear your mind, to stay in the frequencies of love, happiness, harmony, you deplete that energy force. And then that's when, you know, you get ailments and sicknesses, and then eventually, once you've depleted your life force energy, you cease to exist. And that's why you do see some beings that are like 100 and some years old. That's why we used to have beings that lived to 600, 200 years old, you know, because they weren't taxed with depleting their life force energy. Like their mind, heart, body, souls was in alignment, so you can keep going forward. When you stop, you know, connecting with your inner child, that inner youth, that's when it starts beep, 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 beep. You know, when you actually start to connect yourself with others, you know, thoughts, actions, behaviors on what's supposed to be, you know, that's when you start to age. This is my nifty, handy notebook, and I think I've mentioned this before. You know, I'm very grateful to have had this come into my life, because it explains a lot of things, you know, and we're going to dive deep into this. I'm going to actually, you know, really get into this as a teacher and explain the chakra and the endocrine systems, and how each of the chakra is connected to each one of our different glands, and how that affects us, how to protect that, how to enhance it, All right, we're gonna do that, and then I also have, and let me show you right quick. Specific disorders and treatments. It says within this list of specific disorders will be found a brief definition of the mental processes that created each of them, and the Reiki position to use. These mental processes are to be used as a guide only. It is always better to go with your own intuition and feelings when possible. That's a note to the Reiki healers, you know. So these are guides, but you know, also with being a medium and being intuitive, you know, we also get other guidance, and that's on case by case, person to person. Yet, for example, I was just talking about aging. The definition of aging: the process of which the physical body loses its agility and physical capabilities. What is the mental process that causes aging? It is given into the beliefs of other, not accepting complete control of one's own destiny. Okay, so how would we reverse that? Going within. I know some of the things I say kind of sound redundant, but it's like that is the basic advice that you can have. It's like, okay, I just seen, I'm gonna see if I can find that the post that I had seen earlier today, where it was a and this resonates so much. This is so weird, but it's not. I don't believe in coincidence. Everything happens for a reason. So this morning when I was going through my YouTube, someone had posted a reel about Lucille Ball, and they were trying to do these dance steps, you know, and she wasn't quite following it, and so she just started doing her thing, you know. And that is exactly what it is. It's like you cannot march to the beat of anyone else's drum but your own. And when you do that, it keeps you youthful. It keeps you in alignment with thyself. It keeps you connected with Gaia. And the most beautiful part about that, it also introduces you to your soul tribe, you know. And then you just start meeting more and more beautiful beings like thyself. All right, so another example of an ailment, what's another one? What's letter A, B, C, D, E, F, G? Let's go to G's. I stopped on G, so let's go to G. What can we find in G? What's something common that people deal with on a daily basis and might not know the root cause of it? The root cause of a lot, H. Well, let's go with gingivitis. Gingivitis, which is the inflammation of gums, and the mental process that needs to be worked on is chewing over things too much, not wanting to move on something. So, if you're one of those people that are very indecisive, always second guessing yourself, you more likely you do have gingivitis. And I can honestly say, like, I'm one of those people. I grew up in a family that pretty much made all the decisions for me. I remember like kind of just like saying, okay, whatever, I'm just gonna do what my family says, because it was like every time I, like, for example, growing up, you know, everyone's asked that question, what do you want to be, what do you want to do when you get older, you know? And for me, you know, I said I wanted to be a fashion designer. And, you know, instead of being supported in, you know, designing fashions and things of that nature, my family's like, no, you're gonna be a doctor. And so I aligned myself to, you know, go in that course, upon that course. And I actually I graduated high school as a certified nursing assistant, certified geriatrics nursing assistant. I got scholarships to attend colleges, prestigious colleges for medicine. Um, and then the universe was like, no, because I had some other traumas going on, abandonment issues, I guess. I'm looking for love in all the wrong places. Yeah, and I wound up getting pregnant actually in my junior year of high school. My senior year, I was a mom. And so with that kind of changed the trajectory of, my college choices and things of that nature. So I, wound up staying local. And let's just fast forward that story. I stayed local, and then it became one of those where I had to choose between raising my family, going to school, and going to work. And of course, if you don't have enough support, I had to make the decision to quit school and raise my family. And so I wound up leaving the medical field. As far as college go, I dropped out of college. I wound up getting pregnant with my second child during my freshman year of college, and it was just too much. It was so much stress just being piled on top of each other and not having the support, to be able to maintain all of those levels. I had to ultimately decide to drop out of college, and I did so. But I still, like I said, I had graduated with my at least certified nursing assistant degree. So when I got out of high school, I was already in the medical field, but I just never progressed to getting my nursing degree or anything like that. So I was able to maintain my family off of that for many years. Yet there was other underlying background things that were going on. My family actually do have a lot of mental health disabilities, depression was something that ran very strong within my mother's side of the family that I know of. And I remember when I was in high school, my health occupations teacher was like, you may have clinical and biological depression, because it would just be some days, where I just woke up and I just I just didn't feel it. But let's do the metaphysical side of this now. Now that I have more wisdom, more knowledge of what it was actually taking place, let's put this stuff in perspective. And this is where I come in to help. Okay, so with the biological, the depression and everything, and especially when I said clinical and biological, there was just certain entities and energies that I was born into a bloodline that needed to be healed. All right, so being unaware of these things, you're just being affected by it. But once I gained the knowledge of knowing about, entity attachments, generational curses, things just being part of the natural bloodline, being the black sheep of the family. What does that mean to be the black sheep of the family? Most black sheeps are going through it. You go through it, and you're looking around at the rest of your family like, damn, wow, they got this, they doing this, and it's because you are never meant to do those same things, because you're the one that's supposed to break the cycles, not feed into the cycles. All right. So even with, the biological depression and everything, it's like I used to wake up hearing, or feeling like not myself. And I didn't know that I was a empath. And that's another term that came up, that's really popular nowadays. Back in the day, I didn't have the terminologies to associate any of my thoughts, feelings, and actions to. But now that I have the language for it, I'm able to better process things, and now I have more control over my mind and my emotions. So, being an empath, what does that mean? It means you're a deep feeler. You can sense, other people's feelings. and you can respond to them. But as being an empath, you also, like for me, I absorb the energies around me, so that's why I'm always very, I tell people, be cautious about the company that you keep, because you can unknowingly start to absorb that person's energy and unknowingly start to act in their mannerisms, and so now you're starting to get their same karma, or you you're starting to swap out, right? So that's why it is really important at the beginning of your spiritual awakening is to go within. Just go within, so seclusion is good. Being to yourself is good, because you get to release everyone else's thought processes and everything in order to be able to know thyself. Know thyself. Know thyself. So once you know what you like, what you dislike, you will be able to distinguish whether it's your energy or someone else's energy, your thoughts versus someone else's thoughts, your behaviors versus someone else's behaviors. So it's very, very important to know that, and to know your I ams, If you know I am loving, I am compassionate, I am kind, I am caring, then you'll know whenever you're outside of that realm, it's either someone else projecting that upon you, or you've been in the circumference of someone that isn't as, that, and you have more power to redirect and control, cleanse, or purify yourself, right? What else? I don't know. I think I feel like, that's where I want to, be today, what I want to share today. And just being authentically yourself, letting go of the low vibrating energies of shame, guilt, embarrassment, because people will try to project that onto you too. And it's not for you. I remember also one of the things that was told to me is, don't make someone else's shit your shit. You can be compassionate, you can be empathetic about it, but don't put other people's shit on your plate. You just don't do that. You don't do that. Always try to keep yourself in a realm of even give and take, give and take, give and take, and open your minds to knowing that everything is not based on finances. We got this mind concept that here they come. Let's wave to the helicopters. They always kind of want to come check on me, make sure I'm safe. So annoying. Let them go by. But anyway, yeah, so I'm really super happy today. I don't know, I woke up today. I guess it's the new energies that's surrounding us. I woke up today just in a lot of peace. I was very happy and excited. I don't know how much of that was because my eldest son is in town, and I absolutely love and adore him, and I miss seeing his handsome face and him yelling "Mom" all the time. I absolutely love my eldest son. I am a mom of 3. I am in contact with 2 out of the 3 of my boys. In my youth, like during those my spiritual awakening, the universe wound up separating me and my children. And right now I feel like, that's deep. That's deep. I mean, that's a whole deep topic and conversation, because there's a couple of sides to that. So can I share that experience? How can I share this experience? All right, so in 1999, after working, I around this time period, now I'm a mom of three by 1999, and everything in my life just seemed to be fuck shit, just fuck shit. The guy I was dating at the time. So this is at the end of '99. There's a lot that happened within that year or two, but so how does this break down and transpire? Because this is a few years, and it's like when you try to go back and look at the time, it's like wow. But by the end of that cycle, I had just had enough. I was working 12-hour shifts. There was a lot of fuck shit going on in my personal life, my love relationships, my family. I think at that particular time, I'm trying to remember where exactly I was and how everything. Okay, because I was out on my own, but fuck shit went on. Okay, fuck shit went on as far as my relationship not working out. I think I had lost my home. I wound up having to go live back with my mom. Our relationship wasn't good at all. I'm working 12-hour shifts. And this is the same non-support that I experienced earlier in life that kind of made me feel like I got off track. And it was just, I was just like, I can't do this anymore. Like, my children would probably be better off if I just ceased to exist. So that's when I was actually on probation too at this time. And I was just like, I just can't, because it's like, I know that I was a very good person. I know I was very kind, caring, compassionate, and I just could not understand for the life of me, why is all this fuck shit happening to me? And so that kind of led me towards suicide. And I wound up calling my probation officer and was just like, I'm done, I can't do it no more, blah, 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 blah. And I'm grateful for that because he actually called the authorities, and they wound up coming to get me and everything. But what it was with my probation officer, he was actually really good friends with my 8th grade high school English teacher, or middle school English teacher, and she was just like, I don't understand, I don't get it, like, I don't even see why she would be like that. She's such, she's very intelligent, kind, da 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 da. And so I guess that helped my probation officer know more like me a little bit deeper by being best friends with my 8th grade teacher, because it just didn't align and it just didn't add up, and so he had more care for me, I guess, because he kind of felt like he knew me a little bit more personally due to knowing one of my teachers. So that was the experience that kind of separated me from my children. I was put on R&R. They told me I was going through a midlife crisis at 21. And so I'm like, all right, whatever. And so they asked, they took me out of work. They asked if I would, place my children with, family members so I can, have time to myself. And then that's when I moved to Philadelphia with my grandmom. And I did as they asked, but then that's when all the other fuck shit happened. I was actually tricked into giving up my parental rights to my children. But my oldest son, he just was not going for it whatsoever. He was like, no, I want to be with my mom. And he was returned to my care. But my other two, they were too young. They were very young at that time. Like, my youngest son was an infant. And I think I had already priorly, just made the ultimate decision to, allow my aunt to care for him. Because, like I said, I was already going through a lot, and I really thought my family was there to help me and to support me, when now I sit back and look, they were actually the ones putting the knives in my back. And so that's how my family and I originally got separated. My middle son and I haven't really communicated with him since he was 8 years old. And sitting here today, I don't quite blame or fault his family, because other people can see what you may not be able to see, and they may not be able to express it or whatever it is, but I do now where I'm sitting, I get it, because what witches and wizards and all of them do is when they can't really affect you, they affect the things that you love. And I really do, feel like, with him not being directly connected to me, he was not affected by the same circumstances the other two were, by being still in my energetic field as closely as they are. But me as a mom, I'll always speak power over myself. I'll always speak power over my children for their protection, for their well-being. So the last part of my, awakening was truly having the faith that, the unseen had me and had my children. So it actually helped me, to move forward without fear, because that's what they do. They control you by fear. They put that false evidence appearing real, that illusion of, things going wrong and happening to you, and it's not. And that's the part that you gotta overcome. You have to start getting to knowing that the Galactic Council is here to protect us, to support us, to provide for us. Our angels, our archangels, our ancestors of the highest white lights, any other spiritual entities, gods that you resonate with, they're here to protect you and to work on your behalf against low vibrating entities, whether seen or unseen, because even the low vibrating entities, they also have entities and demons that they work with. But when you don't call on to your own ancestors, spirit guides, angels, that's giving that demon, that entity, power. And the only way you can demobilize them is by calling on the ones that you know that are of higher white light and love and harmony, compassion, even Jesus. And that's one of the funny things too. A lot of people don't think I love Jesus or understand Christ. And I'm just like, I'm good with all the gods, all the spirits, all the angels. I've been fortunate to be connected to all, I just have. So, I remember, I talked to Jesus a lot, but, because he's a consciousness, I walk in his image and in his light, it's just, it's an essence, and I be just like, dude, really? Because then they was like, there's only one way. And I'm just like, yeah, they was like, it's through Jesus. I'm like, all right. But that's not quite true. But Jesus is a consciousness. It's a way of being. And I'm just like, for y'all to be like, go Jesus, y'all totally are, y'all like embarrassing him. Because if y'all actually want to break it down and want to talk about Jesus, Jesus had nothing. Absolutely nothing. When Jesus found out that he didn't even need a brush to comb his hair, he gave that shit away. So for churches to be all guapped up and collecting money for this and collect that, I'm like, did y'all forget that part in the Bible when Jesus had a whole big old fit and he just overturned the tables because the business was more important than the people? I was like, stop fucking playing with me, people. Stop playing with me. Alright, so that's why people be getting upset. It's like, are you kidding me? It's like, I think he would be, I'm not gonna speak for him, but I'm just gonna say he's appalled. It's appalling. you know. It's appalling that, you know, a lot of these churches are like have no trespassing signs. They have gates up on them when they were actually built as places of refuge. You know, like how did that start to happen? Like discriminating is just a really messed up concept, if you ask me. And it's like, I don't know, it's like there was a billboard that I had seen and it said Jesus loved his enemies. Yeah, I kind of was like a little like but yeah, I mean, whether you look at the other beings as being enemies or not, yeah, there are entities that don't want people to be kind, compassionate, loving, caring, generous to others. You know, they always put these different stipulations and want to say we're different because, and like, you can be unintelligent and go with this shit, or you can be intelligent and it's like, yeah, he might be taller, shorter, darker, lighter, fatter, you know, whatever, but guess what, at the end of the day, we all are the same. We all want honor, we all want love, we all want respect, we all want peace, we all want to prosper, you know. And that's how you have to start looking at it, you know. And you've been mind fucked for so many centuries after centuries after centuries. We're low vibrating, you know, the people that, and this is one of the signs of the times too, is like trustworthy people will not be trusted and untrustworthy people will be trusted. And that's exactly where you guys are today. You know, you're trusting beings that have no goodwill or intent for you. You know, the only thing that they care about is their image and status and staying comfortable for themselves. It has nothing to do with the people. You know, the people that actually voted them in, the people. And that's also something else too. Most people don't know this shit either. Like, y'all going out and voting and stuff. I learned during the Trump era that they are broadcasted as, you know, your votes are mattering, but how they decide which party wins is whoever raises the most money. Whichever political party actually raises the most money is the political party that gets to say for that year. So I guess Team Biden, you know, y'all are out there campaigning hard, and they kind of sway their emotions by projecting as if they're, you know, caring about the voices of the people. But then I don't know when you guys going to wake up and realize that this is a bunch of bullshit, because they do the same thing over and over and over again. So they'll put the person up that fits the image of what people think is going to be great, and then they get them in, and then they do a bunch of fuck shit. Like, what the fuck? Alright, y'all have fun with that, you know. And that's why I tell people, stop watching the fucking news. Stop feeding into this stuff and actually get true knowledge for self, because once you have that true solid knowledge, you're no longer swayed to do the bullshit. You're no longer, you know, using your energies against yourself. And my man Tesla said, if you want to know the secrets and the mysteries of this universe, you must know frequency, energies, and vibration. And then after that, you go to the secret. What is the secret? How to manifest exactly that which you want to see. And how is that happening? By knowing frequency, energies, and vibrations. And how does that happen? By having yourself in alignment with self and alignment with Gaia. Like, come on. Like, you can't be poisoning yourself, Gaia, and think that you're going to attract that which you want and need. You can't be sitting there lying to yourself, and your whole body is just telling you, like, bitch, that's a fucking lie. but keep going on with it, you know, like, no, it doesn't work that way, you know. You can't be like, oh, I want to manifest love, but then you're harboring all this anger. You're harboring anger, you're harboring resentment, you're harboring separation, but then asking for love. Like, it doesn't work that way. You actually have to be in alignment with it in order to attract it. Period. So you only attract that which you're aligning yourself with. So if you're out of balance, if you're out of whack, then you're gonna attract out of balance, out of whack. And then just being able to trust yourself. You know, a lot of people don't even trust themselves anymore. You know, because I mean, I get it. Trust and believe. I get it because I was in that position too, to where so much fuck shit happened that it's like, fuck you, fuck that, fuck this, fuck that, and so you build a wall. And the sad thing about walls is that you don't allow anything to come in, you know. And that is a big topic that's going around in the spiritual community right now too. What is the big difference between walls and boundaries? Walls don't let anything in. They don't let good or bad in. You're pretty much an island. What boundaries are is that you allow the goodness in, but keep the fuck shit out, you know? You have gotten to the part where you can recognize the fuck shit and you're like, yeah, alright, whatever. You don't respond to it, you don't react to it. It's just like, okay, check. I noted that, check. Alright, cool. I usually live by a three strikes you're out type method in my world. Some people live by one strike and you're gone. They only need one flag. But I'm a kind, compassionate person, and I know people sometimes make mistakes, and so I'm really forgiving of people. But after the third time, like, because I will let you know what hurt my feelings, what made me uncomfortable, and exactly how I feel about certain things. And if you persistently keep crossing that boundary, you'll get one, okay, you weren't aware of it, cool. Two, you're aware of it, but you're doing it. Now I'm gonna remind you, maybe you forgot, I don't know. But that third one, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. So I do live by that. Let's pause this. I do have a phone call. Scam likely. Yeah, it's probably a scam. But let's answer it. Oops, I think I'm too late. Alright, whatever. So yeah. I think I want to do more of, you know, I'm going to start seeing if, you know, people that I do come in contact would like to do recordings with me, or maybe it's easier to, you know, go ahead and start posting for lives and then do a question and answer type things. So we can like identify some things on a more interpersonal level. Do more Reiki services, because Reiki is more than just going like this and sending you good energies. It is actually a science, an ancient method of healing. I'm glad there's many out there that have positive energy, and we are connecting and awakening to our true selves. So beautiful. I would love to see more of that in the collective, because once we get to a point where the majority is on the love and light, it diffuses all the fuck shit, and that's when we're gonna see some real change, which is already happening, and it's a beautiful thing. I mean, like, you can, like, when you wake up in the morning, especially if you get up early, and especially if, like, you catch the sunrise, you can just feel that peace. It's just that nice, beautiful silence, and it's just like, it's like that feeling in the mornings. And even like right now, I think it's like 11. I can still hear, the birds chirping. Industry doesn't sound too busy. I don't hear a lot of static. And it's just so yes. It's just like a whole big old yes. That's the energies that I'm feeling right now. It's like, yeah, bitches. That's the energies that I'm feeling, and it's really exciting. It's really exciting. It's just like, and I'm gonna be honest, I've been asking for the helpers to come in, help us ground these beautiful energies, awaken more, and get this knowledge out there, get these truths out there, because once you know what's going on, it gives you the power to control it, and the control is for thyself, not anybody else. You cannot control anyone else. You can only control thyself and how you respond. All right, because some people, they just want to walk that walk, and you just be like, all right, have fun with that, all right, cool, hands up, surrender, whatever. But for those who do want to step into the 5D, these are the things that we have to stay in remembrance of. We have to stay in remembrance of and have the knowledge of. All right. I think that's a B. What else I like to do is called. I do spirit animals. And so I like to pay attention to the animals that come into my presence at any particular time. Like was it the day before yesterday? I kept seeing dragonflies. Dragonflies represent emotional balance. Today I'm seeing like bees. Bees symbolize being busy, getting down to business. I'm like, all right, I got you, I'm on it. Butterflies, I love I get super happy whenever I see a monarch butterfly, because I just do. And that's butterflies, any and all butterflies always represents transformations. Whether some of them, like, yellow ones or white ones, they do signify something slightly different for me. Like the yellow one, like in my head, is like a rebirth. White ones are like spirits and angels for me. Birds, I always kind of resonate birds with being with Archangel Jophiel. And I'm very grateful to always be able to see the beauty that surrounds me regardless of what's going on. So even I'm very grateful for the palm trees. I'm grateful for the birds. I'm grateful for this cloud. I'm grateful for the fur babies. I'm grateful for the sun. I'm grateful for the cloud that looks like a dragon to me. I love you, dragons. There's a cloud up there that looks like a goat. So I'm gonna kind of look up the meaning of goats, and I'll share that with you guys later. He looked like a goat hopping over, or it looks like a goat walking on those exercise balls. So let's see what that means. There's okay. It's a wasp. So we're gonna find out what that means, because I was like, he didn't come bother me. The reason why I get freakity wiggity whack like that is because younger, when I was in my youth, I was actually told I had asthma really bad when I was growing up, and when you get diagnosed with asthma, they give you an allergy test. And let's go into my Reiki manual for that too. But they give you an allergy test. And it was just like, when they gave me the allergy test, I was just freaking allergic to the whole goddamn planet. I mean, I was allergic to everything, down to like human hair. I was allergic to. I'm like, how the fuck? Smells. It was just like cut grass. Like every time, I can always tell when a storm was coming. One, and then any cut grass, my chin would just start itching like crazy. And now that I have this manual, I kind of want to look that up. Okay, so asthma. Asthma is showing signs. Okay, what is asthma? Asthma is a disorder in which there is difficulty in breathing in a suffocating manner. That is like a horrible feeling. It is a horrible feeling, like you cannot breathe. And I just still remember, me having, like I didn't develop asthma really until I moved to the country. That's when I had my first onset of asthma. I remember every morning I ate oatmeal, was like my thing, and my great grandma was still alive. Rest in power, Norma, I love you. I came down, like I woke up and I just felt really, really weak. Like real weak, and I just couldn't eat my oatmeal, and my breathing was strained, and my great grandma was like, there's something wrong. My family name is Nina. There's something wrong with Nina. Arnita. And because I was just like, still very lethargic, and I wouldn't eat my oatmeal. I just didn't have it in me to eat it. And so that's when my breathing got even more shallow, and my grandma was like, Debbie, you need to take her to the hospital. And so I was rushed to the hospital. I would never forget that first experience. I remember, I guess that was my first near-death experience, because I just remember being on the gurney, and you know how people describe seeing the white light. It was like, even though I'm like maybe 5 or 6, I see my light flash in front of my eyes, and I'm just like, how does this happen? I'm like 5, But I just seen a flash, a rush of images, just go through, and then I seen lights, and then, next thing I know, I woke up and I was like in this incubator thing. Yeah, so that was my very first asthmatic experience. What was going on mentally, and this is what makes me understand where people do put like other energies upon people, because prior to that, like I said, I'm 5, I was fine, and then we moved, like everything. I don't have many memories from 5 and younger. I don't have memories. I have maybe two memories from age 5 and above. I don't have any. Nope, 5 and backwards, I don't have many memories at all. But what happened at that stage was fear of conflict, stressful situations, feeling hemmed and blocked, suppression of emotions, fear of drawing attention to oneself, lack of self-confidence or belief in self. So that, when I went there, whatever fuckery my family is into, and I mean, like, I'm just at the beginning of really sharing my experiences, because some of the stuff that I have experienced still sounds very wacky doodle. Yeah, I have to find the comfort in sharing it, because there's so many people that are dealing with this too, where they keep trying to make us believe that, this entity is not real, that's not real, this not real, that's not happening, but it actually truly is. And these are my truths. And this is also breaking further curses and things of that nature. So what I'm piecing together, that was the onset of blocking my natural gifts, my natural abilities and everything, to put those emotions and feelings and mental things into my reality and existence. And I'm breaking them bitches, fuck that. So no. But each one of those things has continuously been a barrier and a blockage in my life. And I am moving beyond that and beyond that, because I'm like this. Fuck what y'all heard. Fuck what y'all thought y'all did. Fuck all that. I'm going to have my destiny. I know. I know who I am. I know what I'm here to do. And I'm going to do it at the pace that my ancestors, spirit guides, angels, archangels, and the galactic force want me to do it at. And I'm going to keep forging forward. I'm not going to be silent. I'm not going to walk in fear, because that's a fucking illusion. Period. And I even caught on to this last go around of bullshit that they've been trying to put on me. And I'm just like, whatever. You know, I walk in faith. I've been through some shit, y'all. I mean, through some shit. And every time, you know, when I truly call upon for help, I'm rescued, I'm helped, I'm relieved, you know, so good try, you know. Good try. Oh, I wanted to tell you what allergies are. And like I told you, like when that test came out, it was like I was allergic to the world. I did outgrow the physical allergies. Aggravated reactions to the body's normal immune response to bacteria and viruses and their toxins. The mental emotional root cause is fear of one's psychic abilities. Also overly sensitive to small slights and hurts. Feeling of inadequacy. Fearful of the world in general. And it can represent a person or situation. It can represent person or situation in one's life to whom you are allergic. All right, so let me read that again. Allergies. Why your body is reacting the way it's reacting is because of one of these things. One, you can either be fear of one's psychic abilities. Two, also you may be overly sensitive to small slights and hurts. You also may be feeling fear of inadequacy. 4, you could be fearful of the world in general. Maybe that was my thing, because I was just like, I was allergic to everything. I mean, everything. There's a lot of like people, oh my God, I remember growing up and I'd be like, yo, why are they doing that? Like, why did they say that? I just could never understand, why did beings hurt each other? It just never resonated in my head. I'm just like, why do people want other people to cry? Why do people want other people to suffer? Now where I sit is because they're stealing energy. They're vampires. They're of lower dark energies. And the only way they can exist is if they steal people's joy. All right. And then the other part was, it can also represent a person or a situation to whom you are allergic. All right. So, with that being said, we're going to close it off for the moment. For now, I think I did a mouthful in this situation. So there's a few things you can kind of look at. You know, if you have or had asthma, look at the mental and emotional reasonings for having it, so you can address it, or you can start to connect the dots, you know, to see the bigger picture. If you have allergies, there's an explanation for that, so you can start to connect the dots and actually start to ground yourself and empower yourself. What else did I talk about? Aligning your chakras. Why they keep telling you to eat your vegetables and all that great stuff. It'll help you stay energized. It'll help you stay conscious. It'll help you stay in control of your own mind, emotions and behaviors. Drink plenty of water because you got to get them synapses rolling. You know, this is a spiritual battle, so we got to stay fit. Got to be like, bob and weave. And stay alert, you know. What else we need to do? Practice your I ams. Don't allow people to put their fuck shit on you. Watch your words, because your words create your reality. What else can I tell you today? If you're feeling overwhelmed, get out into the sun, get you some vitamin D. In more ways than one, but get your vitamin D. Get your vitamin D. Yeah, y'all get to know that I'm really like, yeah, I can be completely insane, but it's all in good health and love, joy, like, yeah. Anyway, get some exercise in, even if it's just a walk, you know. Go hug a tree. People think that people that hug trees are crazy and this, that, and the third. No, you're just grounding. You're connecting with Gaia. And trees are very old entities, and their root systems connect and they communicate, you know. And communicating love, peace, love, harmony, and all that good stuff with the trees, and allowing them to come back and give us. Be very thankful. Like, I think people forget how important trees are to us. If we didn't have trees, we would not exist. So give thanks to the trees for the beautiful oxygen that they provide for us, and for them detoxifying our environment. Like, trees don't get enough credit, if you ask me. And I thank you, and I'm very grateful for all trees, palm trees, bushes, you know, anything green. I'm very, very grateful, because that also supports our heart chakras, you know. And that's the biggest, for me, if you ask me, that is the chakra that has been damaged the most. And a lot of people don't understand this, that in order to manifest the heart and mind has to be in alignment. You can't have one thing in your heart and your mind saying another thing. Or your mind and your heart, if your mind and heart is not in alignment, it's not going to happen. You can feel whatever you want to feel, but if your brain is constantly doubting it and changing it and blocking it, bye-bye. It's not that you can't have it, you're delaying it. So if you're putting worry on it, if you're putting stress on it, you're just making it go slower. If you put time schedules on it, the universe and the angels, there's no such thing as time. It's only, hey yo, I'm good, how are you? All right. There's no such thing as it. That is a false concept that they have put upon the people. They're like, yeah, you can sit here and you're just like in total, I've done this before, honey. I'm telling you. I was sit and I was like, oh, ancestor spirit guys, this is like probably when I was at the highest of my frequencies, and this is the time period when y'all can say what y'all want about the Muslims, and this is why they got so much hate, because they are very connected in prayer. There's a prayer for everything. There's an alignment for everything. You wonder why they're so fucking abundant in Dubai. You wonder why they seem, because there's a prayer for everything. The principles is grounded in support and love and security. And one of the main things is to live on this earth as if it's not your permanent place. So it's just like, yeah, there's no attachment. But when I was in that realm, man, asking you shall receive, I remember just going down into prayer, and it's like, with all my heart, body, soul, it's like, oh, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I need money for, you know, to do my laundry, you know, to take care of my son and I's laundry. And like I said, you know, I didn't have the best, you know, parenting situations, but what I can tell you this, like, my son's father, he wasn't regular in his child support or whatever, but that was a source of income for me whenever, you know. And I can remember these experiences where, you know, it'd be stretches of time I wouldn't receive anything, but once I came into this family, I would pray about it. And you know what it would be? Like on a Saturday, the next day, they would be checking the mail. I'm not saying it was a bunch of money, but it was enough money to allow me to take care of that need I had asked for. I remember one time my son and I were at the masjid, and I had just went grocery shopping. Oh Lord, I'm getting a little emotional just thinking about the mercy and the blessings that I've ever had in my life. And we just went grocery shopping. You know, I received TANF, you know, food stamps, whatever. So, and went grocery shopping, went into the masjid and everything. Someone stole all of our groceries out of my Jeep at the time. And I was just like, subhanAllah, like I was crying. I was like, yo, what the heck? But I went back into the masjid and I informed the imam of what happened. And, you know, got a message to the imam. And that's the one thing that I did respect and love about the Islamic community. It's like when we are taught that we are taught to want for your sister and brother that which you want for yourself. And that charity is the greatest of rewards and blessings. And we always it was just beautiful because I personally only asked for like maybe $100 so I can replace, you know, some of my groceries, whatever. And with me, so this is now we're like at Isha prayer, the last prayer of the evening, and I put the request out and everything. The imam, you know, he just generally said, let the community know what had happened, and that if anyone could give sadaqah, you know, to help me in that situation. And they never really inform, you know, the community on who it is. They just let the community know what it is. And after, you know, we did the prayers, I'm praying, you know, we all prayed together and everything. I was called to the office and I was presented the offerings from the community, and there wasn't, you know, a whole lot, but the community gathered and collected $300 for me in that moment. And that is something that I'll always remember, and that's why I give because when you're in a state of abundance, when you live in a state of abundance, you don't worry about where it's coming from. You just know it's coming. And so it allows you to be generous. It allows you to be compassionate. When you live in the mindset of lack, you're holding on and you're keeping your hands tight. So when your hands are like this, they're never open to receive, you know? And so that is the differences in the mindsets. Because when, like I said, if you're in a state of abundance, you know the ancestors, you know your spirit guides, you know the universe is like, and it comes back tenfold, period, regardless, you know. Sometimes it comes back, you know, like if you give money, sometimes, yes, it'll come back as money, but it could come back as even something more beautiful, like, you know, you have a bill that you're supposed to pay, but you've been charitable, and then next thing you know, they was like, oh no, that bill no longer exists. And I've had that happen before too. There would be shit like on my driver's record. Like I remember when I moved from Maryland to Pennsylvania, and I'm trying to transfer my driver's license, and they said when I went to Pennsylvania, and they was like, oh, we can't transfer your driver's license because you have $100 fine in Maryland for something or the other. I don't remember. I think it was a seatbelt violation, a car seat violation for my son. And I was just like, what? And they was like, hold on for one moment. And so I went and I sat down, and I was just like, la di da di da. And this is like before I went into Islam. It's just always been like one of those beings, you know, of peace, love, happiness. And I'm just like, oh, I didn't know. And this is like, oh, the universe. And at that time, I didn't really, you know, communicate communicate with the universe as I do now. You know, it's just like, you know, you hear voices, you're kind of talking back and forth with it, whatever. And I'm just sitting there, like, I don't know what's going on. I don't remember this. And then I was like, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, by the time they called me back up, they was like, oh, never mind. It was taken care of, or whatever, you know. And I was like, oh, great, yay. And I was able to get my license. So I can always say that, you know, if someone needed a place to stay, my door was open. If someone needed food, I got you. If someone needed this, I got you, I got you, I got you, I got you, I got you. And every time I said, I got you, I got you, I got you, the spirits was like, we got you, we got you, we got you. Now, let's talk about, maybe that'll be another video, because there was when, and this part 2 I will share experiences when I was not conscious of the entities that had entered my life, and then their energies being connected to my energies, and how my life drastically changed to where I went from ease and abundance and just speaking and things being available to me to where, oh my God, it's love bug. To where things started to become a little bit more constrained, and things not really going in the manner of which how I kind of was used to it happening, and how it actually did correlate to the type of people that I was around, the type of people I was exposed to, because there is a very big and clear difference of the environments I was in, the environments I was exposed to, even you know, outwardly looking in, you know, like I said, everything that has ever happened to me was happening for me, because I truly and firmly believe people learn by experiences, and these are lessons and things. So all of this stuff is actually to build me to be the being that I'm supposed to be today, and who I'm going to be tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that, and the day after that. I don't get stuck on cycles. I like the spiral life. Check that spiral life out. It keeps going and going and going. But what a lot of people, happens to a lot of people, they get stuck on one cycle, and they never cease to keep raising and rising. And if mama, this is how it is. This is you, this is Gaia. And we're going like this. But if Gaia is going like this and you're down here, guess who ceases to exist? Not Gaia. Y'all have a great one. I gotta go use the bathroom and do some laundry and get ready for work and everything. So we'll pick this up another time. All right, love you guys. Be peaceful, be abundant. Stay in the state of I am abundant, I am protected, I am provided for, I am loved, I am cared for, I am respected, I am honored, I am wonderful, I am fabulous, I am at peace. I am. Because remember, anything that you put after I am is that which you will be. Peace. Okay, I guess I have to use this. Boop.